Ordo, welcome back. Happy Monday. Live streams during the week, about the same time every day. So get your questions ready. Any requests, I'm here for them. We'll start off with Bitcoin, kind of see what we're looking at. And as more people get in, as I get some requests, we'll get to those. Try to get to everybody. Keep this about an hour or so, depending on how many people are here. So a little bit of boring downwards action out of Bitcoin, out of crypto. It's part of the ebbs and flows of the market. No panic yet. Nothing, certainly on the bigger time frames. The short time frames, it looks a little sketchy. So we'll get to that. What's up, Ninja? All right. Let's get to it. 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. Nice little 4-hour candle forming. About $1,500 move so far, just in the past handful of hours. But it kind of bounced right back up into our resistance. You can see back over here where we're resistance, we flip this to support, support again, started getting a little sketchy here, and we turned it back to resistance right here on Friday, and then confirmed again really late last night, and then again so far today. So to me, to get a little bit more bullish on the short time frame, we got to take out the bigger moving averages, the 100 in the blue and the pink 200 EMA. Around 67.5. Until we can flip back above 67.5, I would remain a little cautious on the short time frame 4-hour chart. But that's the kind of the pivot level. The bulls can start to show back up again if and when we take out 67.5. Okay, so that's what I'd be watching for. Nothing else. And why are your altcoins getting destroyed? Bitcoin dominance is still so high. So that's the name of the game. Bitcoin's showing you all its cards. So if you're wondering that, right, you've just not been paying attention to Bitcoin dominance over the past, 18 months or so. Here's Bitcoin dominance since the start of the bull run. As this increases, altcoin liquidity is all but a desert. We need a drop to get an alt season. So if you want alts to start doing very well, we need to mimic that move. Right, this move is never coming again. So if you think an alt season like this is on the horizon, you're going to be sorely mistaken, I believe. I do not think that the liquidity from Bitcoin will ever move out of Bitcoin like it did back here, 2021. That was probably our last cycle. You're going to get those, random multiple 100x's that some coins got. Some coins are already up 100x this cycle. From the lows, from 2023 lows. But I've been looking more of something like this. Just like what we went from like 48% to 38%. That was a 10% move. It wouldn't take much. Another 10% move to see where that would take us, assuming this is the top, which still maybe not. So 57 to 47. Right? We're looking like maybe something like in this area. And then guess what? Like, and then you could like look at, say, okay, that kind of makes sense, right? We have like top here, top here, top here, kind of before the breakout. Maybe we just throw back to this area, and altcoins would do very well still here, right? A 10% move. I mean, go check. Even though this is a bear market, imagine a bull market, which we're still in, and I do not think we have topped, unlike some major accounts. But I think we're still have another, roughly a year or so out of this. So once Bitcoin dominance does top, that's when alt season will likely start, and we could start to, see this fade where Bitcoin has this little knee-jerk. Look, Bitcoin's even up now. Bitcoin's green. There's multi-billion-dollar market caps that are down double digits still. Injective. Many others, but seemingly, like if your coins have all been red, right, as we're scrolling through here, it's because Bitcoin dominance has just been in a major uptrend. And alt season is still around the corner. Probably still months away, as we've been saying for months now. And we just need a top in Bitcoin dominance, which we have no signs of yet. All right. And enough with my soapbox rant. Hello, everybody. Boris, Captain Kirk, Captain Chris, both of you. Only ones here. So Captain Chris it is. CKB. All right, we got our first request. So let's get off of Bitcoin. Monkey off his soapbox. But look at look at Bitcoin on the weekly chart. What's wrong here? Nothing. We're like consolidating above previous all-time highs. I can't tell you how bullish that is. So if you're too bearish, you're too zoomed in. Then get off the 5-minute chart, and go to the monthly, and it's even better looking. Like we could even go all the way down to like 58K again and still be absolutely full bull mode. All right, so when in doubt, zoom out. All right, CKB. First request. Get your requests in. Whoops. Let's add that back. Let's go to it now. CKB is still a green chart, so if you're new to the streams, we rate all these coins, everything that we get requested and more, either orange, red, or green. Like a stoplight. Hopefully you're familiar with stoplights and how those work. Otherwise we have some bigger issues, but the red charts you want to be majority out of or not much in. Orange charts could be better, could be worse. Green charts are great. Blue charts, I'm glad you asked. Those are the top 8. We're trying to get 10, but really I only see 8 that fit my criteria, and it's just my criteria. So this, you can take those with a grain of salt. But blue charts, we only have 8 out of 150 coins we're looking at that are like A+, the top of the top. So in order to get that criteria, let's just we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get to our first request. CKB. It's still a green chart, looking great. We're still kind of consolidating up at the all-time high area, which is pretty close. This could almost be a blue. I would say if we get back to 2-cent level, this would be like a blue chart, and we could add this to our stellar coins. And as long as you're consolidating and holding the EMA 8, which is the red line there, on the weekly or the monthly. I mean, the monthly is even better. Looks good here. So I'm assuming the weekly might look a little bit more pivotal. So the monthly's still green. The weekly's perhaps about to pivot to orange if we can't recover the 21-week EMA. Again, we broke the 618 fib to the downside pretty convincingly, right? Not even that close. And now we're following through here, so we need a bounce. We just got to get back above the 21-week, which is like, 14.8 over there? See it up there? Get back above that, we can remain green. You don't want to cross the EMA 8 over the 21, the red over the yellow. That's the sign you're looking for to start a nice bullish move, like we got back here, or especially right there, or prolonged consolidation. So we'll give it a week or so. If we close 2 weeks under the 21-week EMA, you kind of go to the orange category, because you could just be hit or miss for the next several weeks to months. So as of now, on the monthly, it's still great. On the weekly, it's still okay, but we definitely got our spidey sense up to watch out, because we did close with authority under the 21-week. All right, and we're currently still down from the high. Past 70 days, we're down 70%. We want to be bottoming here sometime soon. Let's go back over to like 2021 lows, kind of this 0.5 level, right around the penny area. So if we wick down any further, let's look at that 100 week in the blue. Maybe for the low. You can see our bear market lows here. That low close was right at the penny mark. So that'd be pretty pivotal level. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I'll say interest really wanes when alts are bleeding. Yeah, that's crazy. It's like crickets across all of crypto, right? It tells you how many people are probably 100%, if not more, in are over leveraged in altcoins, which is dangerous. But if you're going to be in all in altcoins, hopefully they're green or blue charts at least, right? If you're wondering what the blues are, you can just put that up real quick. I still checked these right before I got on the stream. These are still all blue. These are still the strongest charts in crypto. And how do we get to there? So number one is Toncoin for sure. And what's the criteria to be blue? At or near all-time highs and above the EMA 8 on the weekly. This is the best, strongest chart in crypto. There's nothing that touches this. So if you're in Toncoin, congrats. Look at where it's kind of, look at last week where it pivoted at, the 1618. I mean, right at it. Can't even make that up. That's pretty impressive. So the high, I mean, it hit within like 2.5 cents of the 1618. That's pretty amazing. Not many coins have outperformed this one since February or March. Right, really, the breakout happened the first week of March. Right there. Nice rally. So since the first week of March, in just over 3 months, we've done almost a 3x. Amazing. All right, next. Up. Welcome everybody. Welcome all the normies. We got pretty much all the normies here. Appreciate it. Just drop a wave in the chat if you don't want to type nothing. Let me know you're here. Okay. Ondo. I'm glad you asked. It's also a blue chart. Now this one could be borderline green because we just don't have enough history. But for the short history that it does have, this is really good. Okay, still above the EMA 8, although we've gotten a little sketchy here over even this week already. This long week already. The low, let's see, right, $1.05. The EMA 8 is at $1, just under $1.10. So we could just be in the phase of a throwback, and a throwback is just a bullish retest of the breakout level. So that would be right around the dollar mark. You can see that, right? Nice psychological level for the human brain. If we do that, we'd like to see it a wick and then come back up here to really maintain. If we close under the EMA 8, this would still be a great chart. We'll probably go to the green. You get downgraded to green, you're still doing pretty rock star, right? Okay, so that's what we're doing so far. Looks great. I mean, put it on the weekly line chart. I mean, all is pretty great here, right? Consolidation here, breakout, just a little bit of a flag formation, right? Nice move up, pivot down, hold the EMA 8, and continue on. Now, just my opinion here, I would say that these blue coins will be one of the, if not the fastest to move when we turn back mega bullish again. Strongest charts, right? The strongest, fastest cars, the Pagani Huayras, the Koenigsegg Agera RSs, the Lamborghini Diablo SVs. I don't know about that last one. That's a little bit older, but you get my point. Like the fastest looking cars, the highest performance, the most power tend to perform the best. Not always, but as a general rule of thumb, that tends to work out. Okay, these are them. These are the leading 8 so far that I have found. Maybe you've got another one. Let me hear it. All right, back to 5-day watch list. Alrighty. George, good question. I saw it in there. I meant to answer that before I got on the live stream. In our Telegram group, George, thank you so much. ETH to render. We don't have a chart for that, sadly, yet. But I am a fan of that. I think that'll work out well. Also, like, look at the rough. Do you think Ethereum will hit 10K this cycle? Some people don't think so. Maybe. I think so. I think so. If not, then it'll be close. So that's what, a 3x, roughly, right? Do we think render will hit $24? I think render will go higher than $24. Okay, and I think render will likely move bigger before Ethereum. So if you have some Ethereum, I think now is a generally good time to, if you're trying to dollar cost average out of that or into another coin, I think render would be a very good fit to that. So 5-day crypto proves that message. But we can talk more about that in our Telegram group there. All right, Bitcoin Gaussian, good request. All right, let's go look at it. We're looking on a couple time frames here. So we'll start off with Bitcoin on, we don't need to go to the monthly because it's way under us. I think it's still way under. I mean, look at it on the weekly. It's at the top of the Gaussian channel on the weekly is now in line with the 100-week EMA at 42K. We're still doing excellent, okay? It's 37% below us. Also, what's 37% below us is our previous weekly consolidation level. So highly improbable that even if the world hits a nuclear bomb, I mean, let's not, damn, we're getting dark. I don't know if I see Bitcoin going under that level. I mean, that's like about as solid of a concrete floor as you can get. Now, there are earthquakes and concrete does fail, but that seems about as rock solid as you're going to get for a support level out of Bitcoin. If the world ends and Peter Schiff comes back from the dead. I don't all right. Okay, weekly. That was the weekly. Let's go 5-day. Let's just go right down the line here. 5-day, a little bit higher. Top of the Gaussian channel there is around 50K. Also, like maybe you could argue that little sneeze right there from back here, right? Okay. Move that. Let's go to the 3-day Gaussian channel. Look at that. Look at this one. Look at the 3-day. Consolidation on that weekly has now the 200 EMA in line, backing up the unlikely that we go below these levels. At least until maybe never, right? Maybe Bitcoin bear market goes back to that level, like at the bottom. Last cycle was what, 15K roughly? Maybe 2 years from now, 2026, the bear market bottom. 2027, I don't know, whenever we get to that point, maybe the bottom will be roughly 40K. Good possibility so far. We can look into that years from now. All right, so Gaussian channel here. Now we're creeping up. You can see the Gaussian starting to maybe potentially round off. We're still 7% above it. 3-day becomes less weight. The weekly, you don't want to be touching in a bull run no matter what coin you're in. And there's a lot of coins that are still have a red weekly Gaussian. And you guessed it, those are probably majority of red rated charts. Okay, 3-day chart, you can kind of get into it a little bit. You don't want to, ideally you don't want to be touching it. Certainly after you've gone this high above it. So we don't have that much wiggle room here. But I would really give it to the median Gaussian. On the 3-day or the 1-day, you're fine. Okay, the median line on the 3-day is really, you'd kind of want to draw the line, but it is rising. So give it another month, and we very well may have a median Gaussian channel on the 3-day higher than our low close back in the last week of April. All right, going on to the daily Gaussian, and I'm glad you asked. Look at this. We're trying to hold support at the median line here. Great sign. Just below here, we have the 100-day EMA at 64K. The other thing we were talking about in our Telegram group is this double top here. This kind of confirmed that really like last Thursday, right? We low close. We took this out, put it on closing prices, right? It's like, oh shit. Well, now what? Well, you could just get let's get a target. Well, you just take the high to the low close. That's pretty easy to do. Then you can either just, move it around or copy and paste. So you got in line, right? And then your low target is around 63, 64K. If we get down there, our low wick so far though is pretty damn close. 65. So these don't have to translate out like to $1 or anything, like even to the 1,000, right? That's pretty close. From a high close candle of 71.5 to a target of roughly 64K. We may be done. There's a chance. The back-to-back low wicks. We'll have to see if this holds. But like we started the stream with, we must get back above the 67K level. That is the pivot for the bulls bears. So we're leaning a little bit more cautious / bearish on the shorter time frame charts, the 4-hour, the daily. But the monthly and the weekly are still overly bullish. And that's what you would want, right? You don't want to be short-term bullish and long-term bears. And we're not. So, okay, we got random semis backing up in reverse on a one-way street across from my house. So that's distracted me a little bit. So now we're a little bit concerned because we have this move down. And what we wouldn't want to see is this like kind of flag start to form here over the next, the rest of this week. Then we could, project down farther. Ideally, I'd like to consolidate in here, hold this kind of the median line, words are hard, and just kind of build back up off of that and do something like this where we round out and then just kind of flip 67 back to support and let's go on our merry way here instead of, messing around back under resistance again And this is definitely resistance. I mean, look at all the days we held this as support. Resistance, resistance, flip to support easily to see there. We lost it. First time you hit it, it's usually going to flip back to the opposite. But we have our daily Gaussian helping us. Maybe we're going to get pinched here, and maybe we can, catapult out in a week or so. But we're doing these streams daily, so we'll keep you up to date. All right. Hopefully that answered your Gaussian channel question. You Captain Chris? ICP, Insane Clown Posse. I think they're getting up there in age, but go check them out and let's see how their crypto's doing. Let's actually do it now. Oh, wrong ICP, was it? All right, my mistake. The crypto, not a band. All right, weekly chart. Still not looking great. It was orange. It's still orange. Gaussian channel is green, but like I said, to start this off, after the weekly Gaussian channel turns green, it's not good if you even touch the Gaussian channel weekly again. So this can act as big time hard pits. And would I paint this red yet? Not really. We're still in line with these swing lows. Where could we turn this? I mean, we're in danger of turning red. Like this would be the red zone, so to speak. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, we're right there. We've caught our clothes on fire in this lava pit down here. Like we got to get out. You can't last in that. So you're right on the edge here. ICP, it's got to get back out quick. You just get sucked in here. All right, so weekly, not great. The 5-day, holding that. I mean, like I said, you're right on the pivot level here. The 5-day Gaussian channel. This is where the bears can get you. You're flirting with their property line right now. Median line, if you close under that, I mean, I would say if you close under $9, this flips to more bad news bears. You got rejected off the 200 EMA. Look at that on the 5-day. Not a good sign right there. Look at those back-to-back candles. That was a pretty big warning right there. $17. You're like, great. Why didn't you talk about this back then? It's down 60% since then. That high. Now we're really where we start to fall apart here a lot more in structure. So make this as bleak and dark as possible. There you go. What exchange do you normally use to buy crypto? So I use Femex. They try to get me to promote their site, but maybe I should. But I think a lot of people in the US can't use that now. Like, I think I was grandfathered in. I started using it 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Math is hard. All right, so that's just a side note. Someone asked me that. So, all right, Synapse. You can do Synapse. Synapse I still have high hopes for, but it's starting to scratch my head a little. All right, then get to it. Down 13% today, too. Like any kind of rally, it fades off immediately. At least as of the last couple of weeks. So let's get to the weekly chart here. And, we didn't really get the full signal here out of this one. So for the ultimate buy signal, you want your Gaussian channel to turn green and your price action above it, which is like right there. And then we came in that same week, we kind of got into it. So we didn't really get a pure liftoff. Ideally, we would want to turn the channel green like right here as prices are going up. That's what you want to look for. And I was kind of hopeful for that back in this area. I started buying here around 70-cent mark. So I'm not too underwater yet, but I still think I have high hopes for this. I'm a little biased on this one. But again, you could argue a double top here at the 618 fib. Back down. Failure to launch. Kind of like we just those planes that launch, those little Cessna planes that go up too fast. Their engine shuts off. I feel like that's what we did a little bit. So it's up to the captain if we're going to rescue or crash and burn here. I'm on the side for rescue. So we just got to stop playing around here and get going. Now, last week, Synapse did have a 56% daily move, and it was really like in like 20 hours. It went up 56%. So it's trying. But we got to kickstart the engines here. We don't want to be messing with this lower part of the Gaussian channel. You can see by definition it turns bearish. You see how this candle just flipped solid red? So we don't want to be closing in here. So this week, my only goal for Synapse, right? Not greedy here. Let's just get back above 66 cents. That is the median line on the Gaussian channel right there on the left there. You can see that? All right. So you want to be mindful of that on whatever coins you're looking at. The weekly Gaussian channel, median line, if you didn't, if you're really don't want to be touching the Gaussian channel green, but we didn't really get out like I was saying. But if you cross the weekly Gaussian here and close under it, it just generally doesn't work out so well for when said alt season really picks off here, which is kind of why I'm doing these streams, to try to kind of get you out of the terrible looking coins and into better ones. As I'm saying that, yes, I do hold Synapse, which is starting to get its wings ripped off in this plane. Okay. So it's not looking great as of this week. Or last week, I thought it was going to rescue us, but all eyes on Synapse. 66 cents this week, must close above it, or we're going to have to come up with a new plan here. I don't want to do that. All right. What else? CHAINLINK. Let's go look at Ron. We did Ondo. We just did Ondo. It's one of the strongest charts in crypto. It's in the top 8. So kudos there. Go back earlier in the stream. You can find Ondo. I think it was like the third coin we did. CHAINLINK. All right, CHAINLINK. Here's the weekly chart snapshot. Now this one, we don't want to be closing inside the weekly Gaussian at all. The 50 week is right there at the top, 1425, 1431 for the top part of the Gaussian there. The median weekly Gaussian is at 1142, but we don't want to go down there. That's the 200 week. It would get real rough, I think, for a long time for CHAINLINK. It could get stuck like we've been saying. All my CHAINLINK videos, I did not want to go back below this level, and we did, and now we're here. Now we're likely going to consolidate for CHAINLINK for weeks, if not months. Now maybe this is the low, and maybe like best case scenario, the low is right here. We bounce off the top, but we must flip this back to support and do something like this. Right, we got to flip this 1650 level back to support, or we're in likely gonna rinse and repeat this rectangle box. Right, this is the consolidation box from hell. I mean that we could last for the same amount of time. It'd take us to like September. Good Lord. And then you got to worry about like what if scenario B exists, right? And then your target is like it's pretty far down here. This I don't see that happening, but just saying, like it's definitely back on the table now that we're down in here, right? We'll see how bleak it gets for crypto, but hopefully Bitcoin doesn't go down too much further. I feel like if Bitcoin wants to retest low 60s or high 50s again, even quickly, like it could suck a lot of alts down into their Gaussians and they could just get kind of stuck there for a while. That's kind of CHAINLINK is quick of a update as I can do, really. We cannot possibly close under that or we're in deep shit, because that's when this head and shoulders would likely confirm. So if we close under $13 on a weekly candle, and we're still at 1470, so we'd have to let's get the tool working. So if we close down 12% from here, or I would say take out that blue 100 week. 1286, close under 1286. Head and shoulders confirms, and we would be likely falling, right? I would say somewhere. I mean, look at that. Look at the target. The target's back in single digits, which again I've called many times to not go back there. But here it is. There's that target, and it would take us right to the previous breakout zone. That's a little scary, right? That those pieces line up perfectly like that. So we'll see. Now that would be a catastrophic for altcoins, not just CHAINLINK. That'd be a 65% move down in like probably 6 months, 180 days. Not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying let's not have our blinders on here and be aware of what the scenario is. And this is all started. And again, this is not just Chainlink. We love Chainlink. We got blue signs, neon blue signs, but just unbiased as possible here. You need to always be aware of bullish and bearish scenarios and not get blinders on. And I've said very specifically in all my Chainlink videos, if we go back under the 21 week, we have a high probability of consolidating under here for a while. And now we're working on our second weekly close under here. So now again, we have a better part of the week, so let's not be too far too quick. Now if we close back above 1650, hey, good to go again. Okay, so we don't have to be doom and gloom, but let's be real here. Like we're flirting with disaster, for the past 30 days or so. We got out of it, up maybe too fast here, and now let's hold the line. If we hold the line here, we're good, right? Even if we consolidate down here, still good. But let's be aware of the impending dangers. And this is why we look at coins that cross and close under the 21 week is you open up a can of worms, potentially. You open yourself up for some bad stuff if you go under the 21 week on anything you're looking at. So it's not that I'm picking on Chainlink by any means. That, like, let's just look at the boss, the devil boss that's in front of us, potentially. Right? Let's just politely go around and pretend we didn't see him. Like, we can't do that. He's there. All right? But we'll update it every day. Every week, at least. Right? We'll do updates. All right. Let's get going with more requests. Making sure didn't miss something. Request Uniswap. I feel like that's maybe on here, but all right, still green chart. So here's your green Uniswap, and even if we were up here, would we be blue? It's quiz time. Pop quiz, hotshot. Why wouldn't we be blue if prices were up here? Now, what's blue? If you're just joining a stream, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Blue is like one of the strongest charts in crypto, right? It's the top 8 that we track. There's only 8 of them on my list. And why wouldn't we be blue if we're up here at range highs? Because we're still considerably under all-time highs. Toncoin is the best chart in crypto that I've seen to date. And it's like, it would be the equivalent of Uniswap at $100 right now. That's the perspective on how strong Toncoin is. It's at all-time highs and considerably above all-time highs. So even if we were way up here, even though this is still a green chart and still a strong chart, that's how good some of these coins are. Okay, so we still have a while to go. We're still down 75% from all-time highs. So that puts us at, to clear that, we still got to do a 4x to get out of price discovery mode, back into price discovery mode, yeah? And our rejection level, to no surprise, our resistance so far, if you go back left, you have your 2021 top prices right in this area, and also the initial sell-off from May of 2021, over 3 years ago, those lows flipped to highs. There's where we are. And if you're a big believer in Uniswap and you think it's going to do great, once it flips $16, $17 to support, the launch pad is on, right? But until then, consolidation, slow build up, great. The big moves start to happen again after 17. You got to get back above this. You got to get above this level. So if you want Uniswap to explode again, this needs to be support and not resistance. Nice moves, right? It's up 3.5, 4.5, 5x, right? From the October lows to the March highs. Good sign. Sold off a hell of a ton, just like most did. 65%. Good there. Now you're back up 86%. Good there. Back above the EMA 8. Everything's looking good here. So we're green until we close. This would be the concern, right? If we close back under 940, Until then, you're looking okay. Target should be like $15, $16. Then, even better skies up there. Good question. It seems it does not make sense to buy alts as long as Bitcoin dominance does not drop. And that is, generally speaking, that's, if you could just cut and dry, make it as cut and dry statement as possible, that's pretty good advice, actually. However, you can miss out on huge gains, at least initially, if you're waiting for Bitcoin dominance to top. Now, what if you've been waiting this whole cycle? Right? This is where it starts to be a little dangerous, right? Where if you're like, okay, well, Bitcoin dominance always initially goes up at the first part of the cycle, and it really does. But, I mean, there's some coins that are literally up 100x as Bitcoin dominance is going up. So that's generally not a great idea. You want to be playing strong charts against Bitcoin. This is the general rule of thumb that we talk about in our Telegram group all the time. So to do that, you want to compare your alts to Bitcoin. What are the strongest alts against Bitcoin? Well, they're rated right here. There's Solana, Render. Your charts need to be looking like this. Look at that. That's not even the spectacular looking, but this is one of the best ones against Bitcoin. That's what this is. This should be a little eye-opening here. Render, probably the strongest gainer against, well, at least one of them against Bitcoin. This Render is putting in, like, consolidating above all-time highs against Bitcoin for the past 2+ years for this pair. There's very little, if any, coins that are you can say that with. Render is that. But Render is my biggest holding this cycle. You want to be in coins that outperform Bitcoin. Otherwise, you should just be holding Bitcoin. And the majority of people that are in altcoins would be doing better than they are now by just holding Bitcoin, at least until Bitcoin dominance tops. So good point. But what have your coins been doing? So if you follow that cut and dry like you're saying, I generally agree with that. But look at, since the start of the bull run, Render is, even with the drop, I mean, you go all-time highs, Render put in an 8.5x against Bitcoin this bull run already. What do you think something like that is going to do when Bitcoin drops? It's going to go batshit, right? Something that can put in a power move against Bitcoin as dominance has done nothing but go up. If Bitcoin dominance actually does fall and reverses big time, these are the coins you want to be in. Like, the proof is in the charts. Just look at the charts. It's still, from the start of the bull run, even right now, roughly up 5x. You could have increased your Bitcoin 5x just by holding Render since the start of 2023. That's the magic of looking at your altcoin Bitcoin pairs. Go look at one more. So as good as Jasmy is doing, Jasmy is a great looking coin against fiat, but still way down against Bitcoin, even though it's doing better, right? But I've rated all these as much as possible too. And keep in mind, not all charts have Bitcoin pairings or charts with that much history. But the ones you have, you need to, if you're, whatever your best performing or your top holding altcoin is, put it against Bitcoin and go check it. If you don't have a pair, you can always check it a different way. If you don't know about this, here's this little tip and trick. Okay, you can go just to Bitcoin, right? Go to Bitcoin, take off all the shit, take off all indicators, put it on this, right? Listen up here, right? This is how you can compare your coins. Put it on a line chart. Got it? There's Bitcoin. Here's 2023, the start of the bull run. Right? So Bitcoin is up, this bull run, up 4x, right? 300%. Excellent. Okay, to compare your altcoin with it, let's hit this little plus button up here, right? And then you can go look at, whatever. How about ADA? It's not gonna be pretty, but let's put ADA up there. Okay. Now look at that. Now ADA shows up in the orange, and these are color coded, so you can keep track of them. The ADA's in the orange here. So, and then you want to zoom in to where they start the same. I like doing it at the start of the bull run, roughly. So that would be January. There's January 16th. They both start here. So since January 16th, 2023, Bitcoin is up 193%. ADA is up 9.8%. Which one should you have been holding? This is like pretty obvious, right? All the people that are knee deep into ADA and no Bitcoin, look how much you're missing out on. You can do this. You can just add more. Let's go to, well, that's a terrible example. We can say ADA. How about even ETH? Let's go to Ethereum. It's not going to be great either, but it's better. There's Ethereum. If you just had all Ethereum and no Bitcoin, you would still be doing yourself an injustice. There's Ethereum, up 118%. So this is very easy to do. Even if your coins do not have the pairing, yeah, it's easier to see the pairings. Much better to compare that chart, but you can at least see a snapshot of how well you would be doing if you held just Bitcoin. So, spoiler alert, your altcoins should be above that one, or you should have just held the king, the least risky. Bitcoin's the least risky crypto, right? I think we'd all agree with that. Why is that? The most liquidity is there. The easier to turn a little canoe around, or the Titanic. Maybe a bad boat to pick, but the Maersk. Let's go with a giant boat. All right, a really big boat. Okay, let's go to one more, right? Just put this in perspective, right? Let's go to our chosen coin of the day, Render, right? And now let's see which you should be in. Which one? Which one would you pick? If you had to pick one of the four, I don't know. Why are you in Render? Here's why. Right? Put your coins against Bitcoin. Put your altcoins against each other, right? What if you just held ADA, Ethereum, and Render? Then you can do this with anything, right? So go to TradingView, do that. Make it simple. Anybody that's bragging about their coins, you can easily bring them back down to earth really quickly, or yourself if you do this. Right? Go check it out. Easy to do. Hopefully that helps somebody out there on this stream. Somebody just got an eye-opener. There you go. So let's go back now, back to regular. We can put our EMAs back on. It's really easy to do, right? That wasn't too hard. You can do it. All right, more stuff like that. It's found in our Telegram group through Patreon. We do a lot of extra content and cool stuff like that. At least I think that was cool. So consider following us there, all right? Get to it. That's a good question. I don't really know. Marcus, what's the best platform to buy coins that aren't on Coinbase here in the States? I don't know. I wish I knew that. Maybe someone else in this chat could help. Because I haven't really done anything else but Femex for 6 years. Outside of Coinbase, because we're in the United States, it's very different in the United States. It's tough to buy crypto in the US that's not on Coinbase. Someone here has probably got a better grasp of that than I do. I don't got all the answers, folks. I can just look at a chart. Do you buy or not? OM coin is Sunny Singh. The OM coin, is that the name of it? Are we doing that? I don't know if I've heard of that one. Is that an act? Okay, there it is. All right, let's get to hopefully a new, good, strong chart. Holy shit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yep, range highs. I would say this probably was a blue chart and very close to being one. So a good request here. This is definitely a green chart. Look at the explosive move. Even those lows of 2024. Holy hell. Good request here. I mean, it went up over 30x in 6 months. Still up over 20x, even with the move down. But we did close back under the EMA 8 here. We want to be a little bit cautious, but this is still definitely in the top 20 of coins we look at for chart wise. So good request here. Good to go until that's breached, that low, which is your 21 week is above your previous low. That's a good sign. For the first time in a long time, your EMA 8, that red line is angled down. You got it briefly right there, but then you recovered quickly. So hopefully the low is in here, maybe for alts this week, and then we can kind of bounce back up here. Our only goal here is to close back above the 77-cent level. And then, yeah, I would put this back to the blue category. So that's a good request. We haven't had many coins requested that are this strong. There's our blue level. We can close back above there. But we're green, really, until I would say we turn orange right here. Be a little bit more cautious. Really, it's the 21 week. Okay, we just take out a low close, so I'd make it maybe like orange. Whoops. Where the hell did I paint that one down there? I think that just randomly popped up. I didn't think I put that there on purpose. There we go. So blue here, we turn orange if we take out this low. And then really, I don't think I could put this red, really, because it looks like an explosive move. Not many coins put in that much power. So that is explosive, above all-time highs, looking great. Definitely a strong green and almost blue. We could really put that in the blue category if you really bent my arm, but all right, good request. Let's see. What's Jasmine's market cap right now? Do you know? Someone look that up real quick, and we can go look at the coin. Get Jasmine straight up, but why is it not on my list? I don't know. Is it really blue? Yes, it was. All right, so Jasmine's blue. That's why I couldn't find it. I was thinking it was green, but it did get upgraded. So let's go look at this. Fib scales. Now, I don't really like doing fibs where the initial candle, I say this every stream, I feel like, because there's always one. But the initial candle here is the open. I don't like using that for a fib, so I don't really agree with these. If this candle looks very batshit. Way too skewed. So I would look for, nothing to really use here. We can go from our just do a short term. So we'll go from that swing high to the swing low here, and just look at some current, really short term projections here. So we're like, ideally the 1618 for the retrace. I just really have no confidence in looking at this. Looking at Jasmine, I'm trying to see if somebody has got the market cap yet. Or do we move past that already? So anybody that's using fib scales or Fibonacci extensions, retracements, be wary of where they're starting those at. And especially if the initial candles are way over here and like it's a wick, you'd ideally like to have more info here and have like a market cycle top. Those are much more, you have much more confidence in those. Like say something from Litecoin that's been through a cycle before, right? That'll have extra data on me here. So I wouldn't really even endorse even that. So I don't even think we should put that. Given having said that, right? Anybody's forecast is I have no idea what to put potential on this yet. Right, let's see how it starts performing and when alt season gets here. Ideally, we'd like to be way up here by the time we get there. Obviously, that's not likely to happen. We're looking at a 2x to really get out of the bear market highs over here. Through our all-time high closing candles, you still got a 4.5x really. So too much, not enough information to really get too deep into that. So it has a 1.68 billion. As a general rule of thumb, just my thinking, anything much over 40 billion it's very unlikely. Obviously it's doable, but if you're looking to get something stupid, like if you do a rough market cap on BitBoy's $500 XRP, like it's not going to be $17 trillion, okay? But like 40 billion, anything above that, it better be super damn special, in my opinion. Not that everything will go to 40 billion, obviously. I mean, like even 5 to 10 billion is pretty great, right? But yeah, I mean, if you're like, if someone's giving you a prediction on another YouTuber and it comes out to 20 to 40 billion dollars, and they put something behind it, okay, I could see that. But to just say, like, especially like a red chart or something, they put like, okay, XLM this cycle is going to $4. Like, why? And what is that market cap? It's like, no, right? Use some common sense and do some quick maths and save yourself a boatload of heartache. All right. Little rant on that. Request for SNEC. And if you have a particular exchange you want me to look at, let me know that as well. All right, consolidating above our open here. So I don't have, this is all the data we have. If you have another exchange, again, let me know. This has more data. Just consolidating, I would say the biggest level to be watching. Obviously, this looks like pretty obvious here, right? You don't want to be going back below that, which now we're back under the 21 week. So it's, got what, 17, 20%. I mean, maybe you can go down to even the 50 week there. That just came into line there. So if we go under there, I'd probably cut. That wouldn't be good. But other than that, right? I mean, ups and downs, right? Streaky. Lower high. That move was 70%. This move is about 70%. So we need to, I would say we're probably going to just consolidate here and not do anything, too much until alt season kicks off. That's kind of like the engine's in idle, kind of looks like to me, right? It like wants to go and it's not time yet, right? There's like the times that it did well, like the Bitcoin dominance was kind of on chill right here in January, February. So it can go. There's a 2x in a week. Hell yeah. But right now it's probably waiting for the actual alt season to kick off, which is probably like late summer, if I had to guess, right? Still a pretty good looking chart, but orange for now because we just closed back under the 21 week. So new coin to categorize there. Good request. Why is Fetch going to delist on Binance? I don't know, but I would guess because of ASI, right? That you're not going to be able to buy the old coins again if you didn't know that. Like Fetch, Ajax Ocean is going to be ASI, artificial super intelligence. Come 28 days from now? I think July 15th is the rough date now. Maybe the hard date. It's somewhere in there, somewhere in July. I think it's July 15th. So Fetch, Ajax Ocean will be ASI. So that, if I had to guess, that's why there probably be more exchanges delisting all three of those, I would guess. They're probably going to get in preparation for listing ASI. Yeah, back in the day, Coinbase didn't even have ADA. A good point. And to that point that we are just talking about, they still don't have Ajax. You can't go buy Ajax on Coinbase. Is that crazy? Like $1 billion market cap, and to like, no, you can't buy that. So that was kind of my outside pick out of these three before this ASI thing happened. I was big into Ajax because I thought like once that got listed, usually you want to, if you want the a chance for a big gain, you can't be looking on Coinbase because it's already had the listings. Usually when things get from, some of these, decentralized exchanges and go to Coinbase, they can like really explode. I think we've all been familiar with most of that. So I was kind of banking on that happening to Ajax, and then now the ASI thing happening. And so I thought, there's an outside chance that would have been great. But now I don't know how this ASI thing is going to go. I hope it's going to go well for everything, but maybe if it comes in like right at the time that alt season starts to kick in, like August time, maybe it'll just like be like a actual super explosive move. Who knows? I've no idea what to expect with that. It's a mixed bag. I think a lot of people are for it and against it. We'll see how it goes. Welcome in, everybody. We have a chart on Ring. All right, this one doesn't look like it's got much volume. If you see just a general tip here, you see how this chart looks a little weird? that's like streaky and like really flat like that, that usually means there's not much liquidity in the coin that you're looking at least on that exchange. And you should definitely be cautious. Not necessarily as dangerous. It's just like liquidity. You want liquidity to really get in or out of coins with any kind of big amount. So let's say you had like, you know, $10,000 plus you're trying to exit from this. Like it might be like 20% differences between orders. So if you just put like a market order to buy or sell something with low liquidity, it could be all over the board. Okay. So just keep that in mind as a general rule of thumb, looking at charts like this that look like off to you. So on this particular exchange, the liquidity looks low. Do I have an opinion on this? No. I would say it's probably all but dead, right? I mean, look at the chart. Like flatlined here. Now maybe it picks back up again. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, obviously, but just from a chart perspective, there's many coins that look better than this that are outperforming this and leaving this in the dust. Why would you want to be in something that's literally down 17% this entire bull cycle when there's coins up 100x already? That makes no sense, right? I mean, but you know, if you're batshit crazy on holding this, I mean, there's your break free zone, the 4,000 level, right? You'll probably pick back up again, but that's clear resistance until it's support, right? And this, you know, from just looking at I mean, even go to log scale here, right? Still looks pretty terrible. Yeah, I would say this is probably still down over 95%. Let's just take a guess here. 99%. Still down 99%. No thanks. You have you have a 10x to get to your 200 week. Oh, this is laughable, right? This is absolutely a red chart. And the liquidity is low now. So that's even another bad sign. So you want to definitely dark red that one. And I didn't do what I forgot about it. I was going to pick the top 10 worst coins for our list. I'll still do that. We're going to paint it. We talked about this last week. We're going to paint it like the ugliest color I can. I'll make the top 10 worst and we'll have the top 10 best and we'll compare. It'll be great. All right. Ocean. Okay. Ocean doing a throwback to, I mean, just a throwback, right? Look at that. Look at the level on the weekly. Right, there's the breakout. So yeah, you don't want to be going back below, let's see where the high close is. 52 cents. Generally where we don't want to close a weekly candle back below. Look at that move. 618. Down 66. It's about average. I think a lot of coins are down 60, 70%. No big deal. And this is, believe it or not, is still a bullish structure because it hasn't gone below the previous resistance zone. Range highs, breakout, throwback retest of that range. This is where we decide if the bulls are actually big time in charge still, or they've rolled over and they're actually dead and we're getting ready to get sucked under the abyss here and stay there, which I don't foresee it really happening. But here's the weekly chart, and you can see, like, this is the danger zone. It's gotta bounce here this week. Altcoins better hope. A lot of altcoins better hope that the bottom is like this week, or they're gonna get stuck potentially for many more weeks and probably slow start the what's the word, alt season when it does start. So this is time to really sharpen up your portfolios and get into the strongest coins. And a side note on that is, like, Ocean's going away, Ajax is going away, Fetch is going away, right? It's going to be ASI. So if you're all in on one of these, maybe you just go to stable coins until ASI comes out and wait for that launch, or get into another green chart, or just Bitcoin until dominance tops. I don't know what to do if you're just all in on one of these, right? They've done very well. They're still green charts. Although this is in danger, really, this should be an orange because it crossed under the 21 week, closed it. Yeah, this is probably an orange chart at this point. Also, it's like at pivotal, do or die, bounce, or the bears are going to kidnap you. So we got to go orange based on that. Let's see if Ajax is there. Ajax is there too, but similar vibes. Right, here's our kind of our breakout retest. We're right there again. But this one's a little bit stronger chart-wise because it's not even tested under 50 cents yet. Under 50 cents, it gets in that Gaussian channel, just like Ocean is. Go back to Ocean real quick here. All right, see the little difference? There why Ajax is a little bit stronger here, at least for now. There's Ocean. Here's back to Ajax. But still orange because we've now closed 2 consecutive weeks. You close 2 weeks under the 21 week, you're like auto orange. And now we're doing range lows. So again, it's like kind of do or die for Ajax and Ocean. And not die, but like do or remain or flip to consolidation mode versus, you know, pedal to the metal. Like it's like we flip to idle. So we're going, I think we're going, I feel like I could probably need to go after this stream, go through all my green coins and make sure they're still green because I have a feeling that many would likely be orange now. So let's see what we're at. So next time tomorrow we'll do another stream, and I would suspect that we're knocking on the door of 100 in orange and probably what 40, 35 green. We'll see how these lists change overnight, and who knows how many orange we get flipped to red. So I want to go back through and update that for the stream tomorrow. So join us back then, and we'll see. Let's see if let's see how Fetch is doing. It's kind of in that area, but like Ocean, out of the 3, Fetch is first, Ajax second, Ocean third, per the chart, right? You can see that easily. The Gaussian channel makes it very easy to see as well. We're still way above this. We're still 45% above the Gaussian channel. That's much better Fetch was doing. I think Fetch is still a great dollar cost average by $1.30. I mean, I didn't know if we'd ever see a Fetch approaching $1 again. But yeah, like here we are. So down again, one of the best performers this cycle so far is down, you know, 60% fire sale right now. So if you loved Fetch at $3, you should really love it at $1.30. Yeah, that should make sense to you. But 2 consecutive closes there. Fetch is now, you guessed it, orange. 2 consecutive weekly closes on a 21 week. So we can go back green. Just get back above $1.80, which Fetch could do any given week, right? All right, back to the chat. We did a little bit of Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, we had a good question earlier about Bitcoin dominance, so we did do a little bit of that. So go check out earlier in the stream. I think it was probably the first 15 minutes or so. Talk about Bitcoin dominance a good bit. Yeah, with Bitcoin dominance so high, that's a good point. Bitcoin is struggling on smaller time frames. Like, yeah, I would put like the 4 hour, the 1 hour, even the daily kind of, which means altcoins will go lower. And that's a good point. As Bitcoin dominance is, 55, Bitcoin dominance is still green. I mean, just looking into range highs here. Here's Bitcoin dominance. Might as well just talk about it. I mean, where's the sign of a top? We had a potential right there, right? Like a gravestone doji right there. That could have been the top, but probably a little too early, right? That was only less than a year into the whole cycle. Probably a little too early, but we did have the potential. And guess what? That's exactly when altcoins started to fly here. When we got this top here, really back in October. Remember, a lot of coins took off in October at the Bitcoin dominance local top. Then we went down just 5% for about a month. Altcoins went berserk. Went back up again. Altcoins went on a little bit of a chill, and then they went again, really, during this sector, right? That was like 5 to 7% moves down by Bitcoin dominance, and altcoins are going berserk. What do you think's going to happen when we get an actual alt season? Like something like this. Like this kind of move is what we're looking for to alts to go absolute batshit. Get in the strong coins now for that sector because they're going to go crazy. But as for now, like this is why our altcoins are sucking. Bitcoin dominance is still going up. The liquidity is still in Bitcoin. ETFs are here now. We're not going to have a massive alt season, right? This is not coming again. For those, if you're following anybody that says this is on the horizon, like immediately unsubscribe. There's never going to be liquidity leave Bitcoin like that again. So sorry to say that, maybe we'll get a 10% move down or 20%. I mean, that's asking too much, probably, right? I mean, I would say like maybe we'll get back to like mid 40s for Bitcoin dominance, maybe. And if we do, I'd be getting scared for alt season ending. So just throwing that out there. That, you know, yes, it's still going up. That's why our altcoins are starting to suck. But maybe we're starting to round out here. Maybe we can start to see like, whoops. Maybe in the next, you know, three months or so, we start to get some kind of a top and move this direction, right? And then good time start with altcoins, right? We got to get back under our 200 here. We got to get in the Gaussian channel. Like, we got to look for warning signs. We have no warning signs yet out of Bitcoin dominance topping, which is why red across the board when Bitcoin just sneezes. This is what you get. This is the danger of being in altcoins a little too soon or a little too late, depending on what part of the cycle you're in. Yeah, just rant on that. We got anything else? See if I can think of anything. If you didn't catch the part of the stream where you can compare you need to be comparing your altcoins to Bitcoin side by side, or the single line charts. Go back and watch that if you want to know how to do that. I think that was about halfway through the stream or so. We have just a bunch of simple line charts on comparing altcoins to Bitcoin. This is the new norm, right? As long as Bitcoin dominance is still going up, certainly at range highs, like, you should expect your altcoins to be red or sideways. If it's green one day, it'll probably be red the next day. If it's not doing anything one day, it'll probably be red the next day. Like, this is the recipe for where we're at. So having some of the strongest coins will likely do you well. I mean, look at Toncoin. The strongest chart in crypto is down about the least as any. Down less than 3%. Not many are down less than 3%. You always have some anomalies, and the XRP army is at 50 cents. No matter if it's green or red, it's like always at 50 cents. No matter any time of the week. We've been talking about XRP for 6 months, 6 years. It's always at 50 cents, no matter what's happening in the world. Like the running joke. All right, so I'm going to update my list. We're going to look at a new updated tomorrow's stream. I'll have all these green and oranges and reds updated. We'll see what the difference is between today and tomorrow. Hopefully altcoins don't bleed out too much. But Bitcoin dominance makes another move higher here. It's going to get rough. More rough than now. This is going to be like the new norm for weeks. It'll be like every day. Like, imagine every day like this. People would quit. Which is what this time is designed for. It's designed to get weak hands to give up and transfer it to the strong coins and the people that have been here the longest and that know what's coming next. It's coming next. Just shut up and be patient and do not do anything stupid right now. You do not sell on red days. You do not buy on green days. It's the opposite. If you want to start being one of the top traders, all you have to do is do the opposite of what your brain tells you to do. As stupid as that is. Like, when you feel the most excited, you should probably be selling. When you feel the most fearful, you should probably be buying. It's hard to do. It's easy to say. I get it. The more experience you're here, the longer you're here, the more that makes sense, the more easy that becomes. Shut your brain off. Trade like a robot. Have your system in place and trade that. If you need more help, join our Telegram group. Join our Patreon group. I'm glad to help you. I do many updates a day. And hope to see you there or back here on this stream tomorrow and, through the week. Until then, I'll sign out. Thanks for joining me this long. I appreciate it so much. And I'll give 47 gold stars to each and every one of you. Thanks so much. All right.